She was 30, his driver's daughter, not his type, not his class, but he was not letting go. Simone Washington stopped expecting men to notice her years ago. Not after her ex said she'd never be more than this. A nurse working doubles, taking the bus, eating cereal for dinner. Certainly not men like Cole Brennan. Billionaires didn't see women like her. They didn't know her name. They didn't show up at hospitals at 2 in the morning when her father had a heart attack. But Cole walked through those doors like he'd been waiting for an excuse, crossed the waiting room, sat beside her in his perfect suit, his careful eyes going straight to hers. Then his hand found hers, her father's boss, the man whose car her dad had driven for 3 years, holding her hand like he had the right, like she was someone worth rushing to at 2 a.m. What the hell was happening? Welcome to our channel, where we bring you emotional stories that stay with you. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a story. And if you're returning, thank you. Your support means everything. Now stay until the end, drop a comment with your thoughts, and let's begin. You shouldn't be here. Simone's voice came out flat, professional. The nurse voice she used when patients got inappropriate. Marcus works for me. Cole's thumb moved across her knuckles, small circles, like he'd done it 1,000 times. Where else would I be? She pulled her hand away. You have people for this. Send flowers, a card, whatever rich people do. He didn't reach for her again. Just sat there, elbows on his knees, staring at the vending machine across the hall like it held answers. I restructured 3 meetings to be here, he said quietly. Told my assistant to clear my morning. Drove myself. He turned his head. Those eyes, gray, sharp, too focused. I needed to make sure you were okay. The pronouns hit wrong. Not he's okay, not your father. You. Simone stood, her knees cracked. Everything hurt. Mr. Brennan. Cole. Mr. Brennan, I appreciate the concern, but I'm fine. Dad will be fine. You should go. He rose too. Taller than she remembered. She'd seen him exactly 4 times in 3 years. Twice getting into her father's car. Once at a company holiday party she'd attended out of obligation. Once when she'd dropped off her dad's forgotten lunch and he'd been standing in his building's lobby on a phone call. Each time, she'd looked away fast. Men like him didn't see women like her. It was easier that way. Simone. Her name in his mouth felt illegal. I know you walk to the bus stop every morning at 6:45. You get coffee from the cart on 5th, light and sweet, extra sugar. You listen to something on your headphones that makes you smile. Sometimes you hum. Her breath stopped. Tuesdays you leave 10 minutes early, he continued. Calm, factual, insane. Because you volunteer at the free clinic before your shift. Fridays you're slower. You stop at the flower stand. Always sunflowers. How do you? My penthouse faces 5th. I've watched you walk past my building every morning for 2 years. He stepped closer. Not touching, just close enough that she could smell his cologne, something expensive and clean. I know your schedule better than my own. The fluorescent lights buzzed. Somewhere down the hall, a machine beeped. That's... Simone's nursing brain tried to find the clinical word. Stalking? Obsessive? That's really weird. I know. You're my dad's boss. I know. I'm nobody. His jaw tightened. Don't. I'm a nurse who can barely pay rent. I take the bus. I eat cereal for dinner half the week. My last relationship ended because he said I was going nowhere. She was talking too fast. Too honest. Sleep deprivation, stripped filters. Men like you don't notice women like me unless we're serving you drinks or cleaning your office. I noticed you, Cole said. 3 years ago, when your father brought you to that holiday party, you wore a blue dress, spent the whole night talking to the catering staff instead of networking. You made the coat check girl laugh so hard she cried. Then you left early because you had a shift. Simone remembered that night, hated every minute except talking to Maria about her kids. I noticed you, he continued, voice dropping, because you were the only real person in a room full of people performing, and I've been trying to figure out how to talk to you ever since. Why? It came out broken. Because, family of Marcus Washington? A doctor appeared. Simone spun. Cole stepped back like he'd been burned. 20 minutes later, she knew. Dad would live. Stent placement, 3 days observation, lifestyle changes, no more fried chicken, no more stress. His driving days were over. Doctor's orders. Cole had stayed, stood against the wall while the doctor talked. Didn't interrupt, didn't leave. Now Simone sat in the chair outside her father's room, and Cole sat next to her again. He'll need home care, Cole said. I'll arrange it. We can't afford. I'm arranging it. Mr. Brennan, if you call me that one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. He turned in his chair. I'm Cole, just Cole, and I'm not being charitable. Your father has driven me through 1,000 negotiations, kept my secrets, kept me sane. He's earned this 10 times over. Simone was too tired to argue. And I'm paying him full salary during recovery, Cole added. Retirement package when he's ready. Whatever he needs. He'll hate that. Probably. They sat in silence. Hospital sounds filtered around them. Beeps, rolling carts, quiet conversations. Why were you really here? Simone asked. Truth? Cole's hands clasped between his knees. Because 2 hours ago I was in a meeting and your dad called. He never calls. Just sends texts about schedule changes, but he called, and I heard him try to say he was having chest pains, and then the line went dead. He breathed out slowly. I was in my car before I remembered I don't know how to drive anywhere. I don't know traffic patterns, don't know shortcuts. Your father's been driving me for so long I forgot how. So you came because you felt guilty. I came because the thought of you alone in this hospital made me feel like I was the one having a heart attack. Simone looked at him. Really looked. Dark circles under those gray eyes. Hair mussed on one side like he'd been running his hands through it. His tie was loose. She'd never seen him anything less than perfectly composed. You don't know me, she whispered. I know you hum Mary J. Blige when you think no one's listening. I know you stop to pet every dog on your walk. I know you're kind to strangers and tough as hell, and you make the world better just by existing in it. His voice went rough. And I know I sound insane, but I've had 2 years to watch you and no excuse to talk to you until tonight, and I'm not wasting it. The door to her father's room opened. A nurse, Candace from the cardiac unit, poked her head out. He's asking for you, honey. Simone stood. Cole stood with her. Not you, Simone said. He doesn't know you came. Should I tell him? She thought about her father, proud, private, already hating that he'd need help. Not yet. Cole nodded, stepped back. I'll be here. Whenever you need. She went into her father's room alone. 3 weeks later, Simone's life had become something unrecognizable. Dad was home. Grumpy about the low-sodium diet. The home nurse Cole had sent, despite Simone's protests, came daily. Dad pretended to hate her, but was clearly charmed. Cole had called twice, professional, checking on Marcus, asking if they needed anything. Simone kept the conversations short. She couldn't stop thinking about him. Which was ridiculous. He was her father's boss. She was nobody. That hospital moment was adrenaline and fear, nothing real. Except on Thursday morning, there was a new coffee cart guy at Fifth. He handed her the usual, light and sweet, extra sugar, before she ordered. "Covered," he said, nodding toward the street. Cole stood next to his town car, watching her. She walked over. "Stop." "Stop what?" "The coffee, the nurse, whatever you think you're doing. Making sure you're okay. I don't need—" "I know." He looked tired. "I know you don't need me. That's not why I'm here." "Then why?" "Because I can't stop thinking about you." People streamed past them. Morning rush. Nobody cared about two people standing on a corner having a conversation that felt like it was splitting Simone's world open. "This is a bad idea," she said. "Probably. I don't fit in your world." "Good. My world is full of people I can't stand." "Cole?" His name felt dangerous in her mouth. "What do you want from me?" "Dinner? Just dinner? One night. If you hate it, I'll never bother you again." She should say no, should walk away, should protect herself from inevitable heartbreak. "Sunday," she heard herself say. "I'm off at 6. His smile could have powered the city. Sunday came. Cole picked her up, drove himself, she noticed, took her to a quiet Italian place in Brooklyn, not Manhattan, somewhere dim and warm where nobody knew his name. They talked for 3 hours. He was funny, self-deprecating, asked about her work and actually listened. Didn't check his phone once. "Why hotels?" she asked over tiramisu. "Because my parents were never home. I grew up in a house that felt like a hotel, cold, transactional. So I decided to build hotels that felt like homes." He dragged his fork through the dessert. "Probably sounds stupid to a therapist. I'm a nurse." "Same thing. You read people." "What am I reading now?" He met her eyes. "That you're terrified this is temporary. That I'm going to wake up and realize you're the driver's daughter and I'm—" He stopped. "I'm terrified of the same thing. That you're going to realize I'm just a guy who doesn't know how to drive his own car and spends 16 hours a day working because he doesn't have anything else." Simone's chest hurt. "Cole, I like you," he said simply. "More than I've liked anyone in years, maybe ever. And I know that's fast and probably inappropriate, but I'm too old to play games. So that's where I am. Where are you?" Where was she? Falling. That's where. "Terrified," she admitted. "But I like you too." His hand found hers across the table. This time she didn't pull away. 2 months. That's how long they kept it quiet. Secret dates in Brooklyn, late-night calls after her shifts. Him picking her up in his personal car, not the town car. No driver. He met her friends, nurses and social workers, who grilled him mercilessly and decided he was acceptable. She hadn't met any of his people yet, and she hadn't told her father. Dad was better. Back to his old self, arguing about the diet, doing physical therapy. He'd officially retired from driving. Cole had given him a pension that made Simone's eyes water, enough that Dad had already put a down payment on the Florida condo he'd always dreamed about. She needed to tell him. She was terrified to tell him. The decision got made for her on a Saturday afternoon. Dad's welcome home party. Family and friends celebrating his recovery. Her aunt's house in Queens. Backyard full of people, grill smoking, music playing. Simone was in the kitchen refilling the sweet tea when her phone buzzed. "Cole, I'm outside. Couldn't stay away. Is that okay?" Her heart stopped. "Simone, my dad doesn't know about us." "Cole, then maybe it's time he did. I'm tired of hiding you." She looked out the window. His car sat at the curb. He got out. Jeans, T-shirt. Looked like a man coming to a barbecue, not a billionaire. He walked around to the backyard gate. "Oh, hell," Simone muttered, and rushed outside. Too late. Cole was already through the gate. Her father saw him immediately. His face went through confusion, recognition, surprise, then something harder. "Mr. Brennan." Marcus stood from his lawn chair. "Didn't expect you." "Marcus, I'm sorry for showing up unannounced. Cole's eyes found Simone standing frozen on the porch. "I'm here to see Simone." The entire backyard went quiet. Her father's expression could have cracked stone. "That's so." This was happening. This was actually happening. Simone walked down the steps, crossed the yard, stood next to Cole, whose hand immediately found the small of her back, claiming, protective. "Dad," she said quietly, "we need to talk." Quick pause. If you're feeling this story, hit the hype so others can find it. Comment where you're watching from. Now, back to the story. Marcus Washington looked at his daughter, then at his former boss, then back at his daughter. "Inside," he said. "Now." The kitchen emptied fast. Her aunties knew when to make themselves scarce. Simone stood between the two men in her life, feeling like she was 16 again and caught sneaking out. "How long?" Marcus asked. 2 months, Simone said. 2 months. Her father's voice stayed level, dangerous. "You've been seeing my boss for 2 months and didn't think to mention it?" "Former boss," Cole interjected. "You retired. I don't employ you anymore." "Don't." Marcus pointed at him. "Don't you dare play semantics with me. I drove you for 3 years, listened to your phone calls, watched you go through women like they were disposable. And now you're standing in my family's backyard holding my daughter?" Simone felt Cole tense behind her. "That's not fair." "Fair?" Marcus laughed, bitter. "You want to talk about fair? You're a billionaire. She's a nurse living paycheck to paycheck. You think I don't know how this ends? Dad, baby girl, I love you, but I've seen his world. Hell, I drove him to enough restaurants and hotel rooms to know exactly what men like him do with women." He stopped, breathed. "I'm not watching that happen to you." "I'm 30 years old," Simone said quietly. "I can make my own choices." "Then make better ones." The words landed like a slap. Cole stepped forward. "Marcus, I respect you. You know I do. But you don't get to talk to her like that." "I'll talk to my daughter however I need to if it keeps her from getting her heart broken by someone who's bored and looking for entertainment." "I'm in love with her." The kitchen went silent. Simone turned, stared at Cole. They hadn't said it yet, hadn't gotten there. 2 months wasn't long enough for love, except his eyes said otherwise. "You don't know what love is," Marcus said. "I watched you go through an engagement like it was a business merger. Cold, calculated. You called it off 3 weeks before the wedding because the optics were wrong. Those were your words. I was in the car." Cole's jaw worked. "That was different." "How?" "Because I didn't love her. I've never—" He stopped, looked at Simone. "I've never felt like this. Not once. Not ever." Her chest hurt. Everything hurt. "That's what they all say." Marcus moved toward the door. "Simone, you're an adult. I can't stop you, but I'm asking, as your father, as someone who loves you, walk away from this before he does it first." He left. Through the window, Simone watched him return to the backyard, watched her aunties swarm him, watched the party try to restart around the crater of what just happened. "I should go," Cole said behind her. "Yeah." "Simone, you love me?" She turned. "You couldn't have mentioned that before dropping it like a bomb in front of my father?" "I was trying to make him understand. You made it worse." She pressed her palms against her eyes, exhausted. He thinks you're playing with me. And maybe you are. I'm not. How do I know that? She dropped her hands. How do I know you're not going to wake up in 6 months and realize I'm exactly what he said, the driver's daughter who doesn't fit in your world? Because I don't care about my world. I care about you. That's easy to say now. Then what do you want from me? A guarantee? I can't give you that. Nobody can. He crossed to her, caught her hands. But I can tell you that I rearranged my entire life around you, that I think about you first thing when I wake up and last thing before I sleep, that I've never wanted to build a life with someone until you. God, she wanted to believe him. My dad will never approve, she whispered. Then I'll spend every day proving him wrong. She looked up at him, at this man who'd somehow become essential in 8 weeks. This is insane. Completely. I don't even know if I love you back. That's okay. I'll wait. Liar. She knew exactly how she felt. Knew it terrified her. Knew her father's words had hit every insecurity she'd been trying to ignore. Stay, she said. Come back outside. Meet everyone. Show him you're serious. Cole smiled. Soft. Real. Yeah? Yeah. They lasted an hour before her father left. Didn't say goodbye. Just got in his car and drove off, his sister, Simone's Aunt Joyce, chasing him to the curb. But Cole stayed, met her cousins, helped her uncle with the grill, sat with her grandmother, and listened to stories about Simone as a kid. He was good at this, easy, like he'd been coming to family barbecues his whole life. As the sun set and people drifted home, Simone found herself alone with him in the hallway inside. The house had emptied except for Aunt Joyce cleaning up outside. "Thank you," she said, "for staying. Where else would I be?" She leaned against the door frame. He stepped closer, close enough that she could feel his warmth. "He'll come around," Cole said. "You don't know that." "I do, because he loves you, and eventually he'll see that I do too." There it was again, that word, love. Simone reached up. Her palm found his jaw. 2 months, and she'd memorized the shape of it, the slight stubble, the way he leaned into her touch like he'd been waiting for it. "You notice everything, don't you?" she asked. "The coffee, the schedule, the way I hum Mary J. Blige." "Can't help it." His hand covered hers, held it against his face. "You're all I see." Music drifted from the backyard. Someone had left the Bluetooth speaker on, Alicia Keys, slow and sweet. "Your family's watching," Cole murmured, glancing toward the window. "I know. Your dad's going to hear about this. Definitely. Should I care?" She stepped closer. Her other hand found his chest, felt his heart hammering under her palm. "No," he smiled, then leaned down and kissed her. Soft at first, testing, then deeper when she made a small sound and pressed into him. His arm came around her waist. Her fingers slid up to his hair. The hallway disappeared. The party disappeared. Everything disappeared except this. When they broke apart, breathless, she kept her hand on his face. "I love you too," she whispered. "I'm terrified, and it's too fast, and my dad's going to kill us both. But I love you." His forehead dropped to hers. "Say it again. I love you." "Again." "Cole," she laughed. "I love you." Never getting tired of that. Behind them someone cleared their throat. Aunt Joyce stood in the kitchen doorway, dish towel over her shoulder, grinning like Christmas came early. "Y'all know you're standing in front of a window, right? Whole backyard just watched that." Simone groaned. Cole just laughed and pulled her closer. "Good," he said. "Let them watch." The next morning, Marcus showed up at Simone's apartment. She was still in her scrubs from her overnight shift, exhausted and running on 3 hours of sleep. "We need to talk," he said. She let him in. Made coffee, his decaf now, doctor's orders. They sat at her small kitchen table, the one she'd gotten from Goodwill 5 years ago. "I was out of line yesterday," Marcus started. "Calling you out like that." "You're right. You're 30. You can date whoever you want. But I'm your father, and I'm scared." He stared into his mug. "I spent 3 years watching Cole Brennan operate. He's brilliant, ruthless when he needs to be. He treats his people well, pays fair, doesn't abuse power, but he's also used to getting what he wants. And when he doesn't want it anymore, he moves on," Simone finished. "Baby girl, his last relationship ended because she wanted too much of his time. Before that, he dated a woman for 6 months, and I never once heard him talk about her with any real feeling. He's married to his work, always has been. Maybe that's because he hadn't found the right person. Or maybe that's who he is." Marcus reached across the table, took her hand. "I'm not saying he's a bad man. I'm saying he's a man who lives in a different world than we do. And that world has rules, expectations. You'll always be on the outside. So I should just accept that I'm not good enough? That's not what I said." "That's what it sounds like." She pulled her hand back. "You taught me to work hard, to be proud of what I do, to never let anyone make me feel small. And now you're telling me to walk away from someone who makes me happy because I'm the driver's daughter?" Marcus flinched. "That came out wrong." "Did it?" "I just don't want to watch you get hurt." "Then don't watch." Simone stood. "I love him, Dad, and he loves me. Maybe it won't work out. Maybe you're right, and his world will chew me up. But that's my choice to make, not yours." Her father sat there, looking older than he had before the heart attack. "When did you get so stubborn?" "I learned from the best." He almost smiled. Almost. "You really love him?" "I really do." "And he treats you right? No games, no disrespect?" "He treats me like I'm the only person in the world who matters." Marcus sighed, long and heavy. "Then I guess I can't ask for more than that." "Does that mean—" "It means I'm not standing in your way, but I'm also not giving my blessing. Not yet. He wants you, he's going to have to prove it. To me, to himself, to everyone who's going to judge you for being with him." It wasn't approval, but it was close enough. Simone came around the table, hugged her father tight. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet," he muttered into her hair. "I'm still not convinced this ends well." Over the next 6 weeks, Cole proved himself. He showed up to her father's physical therapy appointments, not hovering, just there, asking questions, learning the exercises so he could help Marcus practice at home. He came to Simone's shifts with food when she forgot to eat, sat in the nurse's break room and talked to her co-workers, charmed every single one of them, especially the older nurses who grilled him mercilessly about his intentions. He met her younger brother, Troy, a junior at Howard. Didn't blink when Troy asked pointed questions about wealth inequality and gentrification. Actually engaged, debated, listened. He integrated himself into her life so seamlessly that Simone sometimes forgot he was a billionaire. Until his world reminded her. The charity gala was black tie, Manhattan. Cole's hotel company was the main sponsor, some fundraiser for children's literacy. He'd asked her to come as his date 2 weeks in advance. "You don't have to," he said. "I know these things aren't your scene." "They're not your scene either," she pointed out. "You hate schmoozing." "True, but it's good for business, and I want you there." So she went. Borrowed a dress from her cousin. did her own makeup, felt like a fraud the moment she walked into the ballroom. Everyone looked expensive. The jewelry alone probably cost more than she made in a year. Women in designer gowns, men in custom tuxedos, conversations about summer homes and European vacations. Cole kept her close. His hand never left her back. Introduced her to everyone. "This is Simone. She's a nurse at County General." Most people smiled politely and moved on. A few asked questions. One older woman, dripping in diamonds, said, "Oh, how noble," in a tone that suggested she thought nursing was something people did before finding real careers. Simone smiled and excused herself to the bathroom. She was washing her hands when 3 women walked in. Mid-30s, designer everything, the kind of polish that came from professional blowouts and personal trainers. They didn't notice her at first. "Did you see Cole Brennan's date?" one asked. "The nurse?" Another laughed. "What is he thinking?" "Midlife crisis, probably. She's pretty enough, I guess. In that natural way." Natural. Code for hasn't had work done. "She's his driver's daughter," the third woman added. "I heard from Miranda, who heard from someone on his team. Apparently his driver had a heart attack and Cole felt guilty. This is him being charitable." Simone's hands gripped the sink. "How long do you give it?" First woman. 3 months? Less. Once the novelty wears off, he'll realize she doesn't fit. I mean, look at her dress. That's off the rack." They laughed, fixed their lipstick, left without ever seeing Simone standing there. She stared at herself in the mirror. The dress her cousin had worn to her engagement party, the makeup she'd done herself in her bathroom, the woman who didn't belong. Maybe her father was right. She made it another hour before pleading a headache. Cole drove her home himself, concerned. "Are you sure you're okay?" he asked outside her building. "Just tired. Long week." "Simone," he caught her hand. "What happened?" "Nothing." "Don't lie to me." She pulled away. "I heard some women talking, in the bathroom, about us." His jaw tightened. "What did they say?" "That I'm a charity case. That you're going through a midlife crisis. That I'm the driver's daughter playing dress-up in your world." Her voice cracked. "That I don't fit. You don't." The words hit like ice. "You don't fit," Cole continued, "because you're real and they're not. You care about things that matter. They care about appearances and status. You're right. You don't fit in that world. Thank God. Cole, I hate those events. I go because I have to, because it's good for business. But every single one feels like suffocating until I look over and see you there and remember why I'm doing any of this." He cupped her face. "You think I care what they say? You think their opinions matter even a little bit? They should. They're your peers, your business partners. They're background noise." He leaned closer. "You're the only voice I hear." She wanted to believe him, wanted it so badly her chest ached. "What if my dad's right?" she whispered. "What if 6 months from now you wake up and realize I'm exhausting, that dating someone from my world is too much work? Then I'll wake up next to you and remember I'm the luckiest man alive and go back to sleep." "Be serious." "I am serious." His thumbs traced her cheekbones. "Simone, I've spent my whole life around people who are easy to talk to, easy to impress, easy to leave. You're not easy. You challenge me. You call me on my bullshit. You make me want to be better. And yeah, your world is different from mine. But your world has family dinners and people who care about each other and actual human connection. My world has tax shelters and networking. I know which one I'd rather be part of." A tear escaped. He caught it with his thumb. "I love you," he said. "Not the idea of you, not the novelty. You, the woman who hums Mary J. Blige and stops for every dog and makes the world better just by being in it. That's who I love. That's who I'm choosing. Every single day. Even when people judge you for it? Especially then. She kissed him, hard and desperate and grateful. He kissed back like he was trying to prove something. When they broke apart, she rested her forehead against his. I'm sorry for doubting you, for listening to them. Don't apologize. They got in your head. That's on them, not you. I love you. I know, he smiled, but I'll never get tired of hearing it. 2 days later, everything changed. Simone was at work when Cole called. Can you come to my office? I'm on shift until 6. It's important. I'll make it worth the trip. She got someone to cover the last hour. Took the train to his building. His assistant, Kelly, who Simone had met exactly once, smiled knowingly when she arrived. He's waiting for you. Conference room. Not his office. Conference room. Simone found him standing at the window. Behind him, the table was covered in blueprints. What's this? She asked. A hospital. He turned. New wing at County General, expanded ER, more trauma bays, better equipment. I'm funding it. She stared. Cole, that's millions of dollars. 15 million. I've already talked to the hospital board. They're on board if I can guarantee the funds. Which I can. Why? Because you told me last month that you lose patients who could be saved if you had better equipment. Because you work yourself to exhaustion in a system that doesn't give you the resources you need. Because I can do something about that. He crossed to her. This isn't charity. It's not me trying to fix your world. It's me using what I have to support what you do. Because what you do matters. Simone couldn't breathe. I don't know what to say. Say you'll help me design it. You know what the ER needs. I'm just the money guy. Cole! She grabbed his shirt, pulled him down, kissed him until they were both breathless. You're insane. About you? Absolutely. My dad's going to have to approve of you now. That's the plan. She laughed, cried a little, held him in that conference room while the city stretched out below them and felt, for the first time, like maybe this could actually work. Marcus called that night. Simone, I need you to explain something. What? Why Cole Brennan's assistant just emailed me about a community center he wants to build in Queens, near my house. Full rec center, after-school programs, job training. Says he wants me to consult on it since I know the neighborhood. Simone smiled. Did she say anything else? Yeah, that Cole wants to hire me to run it. Salary, benefits, the works. Her father's voice went quiet. Baby girl, what's he doing? Proving himself to you. This is too much. I can't accept. Dad. She sat on her couch. He's not doing this to buy your approval. He's doing it because he loves me. And part of loving me is caring about the people I love. You told him he had to prove himself, so he's proving himself. Let him. Silence. Then, I still don't like this. You don't have to like it. You just have to not stand in our way. More silence. He really loves you? He really does. And you love him? More every day. Her father sighed. Then I guess I better get used to having a billionaire around. It wasn't a blessing, not quite, but it was acceptance, and that was enough. 3 months later, Simone met Cole's world head-on, not at a charity gala, at a board meeting. I want you there, Cole had said. We're breaking ground on the hospital wing. You're part of this. I'm a nurse, not a board member. You're my partner in everything. They need to know that. So she went. Walked into a room full of men in suits and 2 women who looked at her like she was lost. Cole's hand on her back, his voice introducing her. "This is Simone Washington. She's consulting on the County General project. She knows more about emergency medicine than anyone in this room." They listened. Mostly. A few asked condescending questions she answered with clinical precision. One older man, board member, old money, kept calling her dear. "It's Ms. Washington," Cole corrected, polite, firm, "or Simone, if she gives you permission." The meeting ended. They filed out, except one woman stayed behind, late 40s, sharp suit, sharper eyes. "Veronica Chen," she introduced herself, "Cole's ex-fiancée." Simone's stomach dropped. "Oh, don't worry, I'm not here to cause drama." Veronica sat on the edge of the conference table. "I'm here to warn you." "About?" "Cole, and what being with him will cost you." "I'm aware of the challenges. Are you?" Veronica's smile was sad. "Because I wasn't, I thought love would be enough, that I could handle the scrutiny, the pressure. Being with him means being judged for everything. How you look, how you talk, where you come from. I had money and connections and an Ivy League degree, and it still almost destroyed me." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you seem genuine. And Cole looks at you the way he never looked at me, like your heir, and he's drowning." She stood. "He's a good man, but his world is brutal, especially to women who don't come from money. They'll tear you apart, question your motives, call you a gold digger, and when it gets hard, and it will, he'll choose his work." "He always does." "That's not true." "Isn't it?" Veronica moved toward the door. "Ask him why we really ended. Spoiler, it wasn't the optics. It was the fact that he missed our engagement party because of a deal in Tokyo, missed my father's funeral because of an investors' meeting, was never there when it mattered because the work always came first." She paused at the door. "I hope you're the exception, but don't say I didn't warn you." She left. Simone stood alone in the conference room, Veronica's words echoing. She didn't mention the conversation. Not that night, not the next day. But it festered. Cole was busy. New hotel opening in Chicago, negotiations for a property in Miami. He texted constantly, called when he could, but their dinner plans got canceled twice in 1 week. "I'm sorry," he said on the phone. "This Miami deal is falling apart. I have to fly down tomorrow." "For how long?" 3 days, maybe 4. I'll be back for your birthday, I promise." Her birthday was in 10 days. "Okay? You sure you're okay?" "Fine, just tired." "I love you." "Love you too." She hung up, stared at her apartment, small, empty, started wondering if Veronica was right. Her birthday came. Cole was still in Miami. "I'm so sorry," he said on FaceTime. "The deal's not done. If I leave now, we lose everything." "It's fine." "It's not fine." "Simone?" "Cole, it's just a birthday. I understand work comes first sometimes." His face on the screen looked destroyed. "Don't say that. You come first. Always." "Then come home." "I can't. Not yet. 1 more day. I swear." She ended the call, threw her phone on the couch. Felt every insecurity Veronica had planted blooming like poison. Her brother took her to dinner. Her dad sent flowers. Her friends came over with wine and cake. It was lovely. It wasn't Cole. He showed up at 11:47 p.m. She was already in bed, trying to sleep, when her buzzer rang. "It's me," his voice crackled through the intercom. "Let me up, please." She buzzed him in, opened the door. He stumbled in, carrying a small box and looking like he'd run from the airport. "I made it," he said. 13 minutes. Still your birthday for 13 more minutes. "Cole, I closed the deal, signed the papers, got on a plane the second it was done, didn't even pack. Just came straight here because I promised." He held out the box. "Happy birthday." She opened it. A key, silver, engraved with her initials. "What? My apartment. Move in with me." He dropped to his knees, actually knelt on her crappy apartment floor. "I know it's fast. I know you're probably thinking about what Veronica said." "How did you—" "Kelly told me. She saw you two talking, figured Veronica would pull something like that." He caught Simone's hands. "And she's right. About some of it. I work too much. I've prioritized deals over people. I've been that guy who misses important things because business came first, but that was before you. Before I had someone worth coming home to." "You can't promise that won't happen again?" "You're right. I'll screw up. I'll get caught up in work. I'll miss things." His grip tightened. "But I will never, ever choose a deal over you. Not your birthday, not the important moments, not the life we're building. If I have to walk away from every hotel I own to prove that, I will." "That's insane." "I'm insane about you." He stood, pulling her up with him. "Move in with me. Let me prove every day that you come first, that this world I live in, it means nothing if you're not in it." Simone looked at the key, at this man who'd flown across the country to make her birthday deadline, who'd turned his whole life upside down for her. "My lease is up in 2 months," she said. His smile could have lit the city. "Is that a yes?" "That's a we'll see." "I'll take it." He kissed her. "Happy birthday." 13 minutes late. "Still counts." She laughed against his mouth. Knew she was already decided. Knew she'd been decided the moment he showed up. "Okay," she whispered. "Yes, I'll move in." "Yeah? Yeah." He picked her up, spun her in her tiny apartment, set her down, and kissed her until they forgot about Miami and Veronica and everything except each other. Moving in together was chaos. Simone owned almost nothing. Her furniture was second-hand. Her clothes fit in 3 boxes. She felt ridiculous carrying her life into his penthouse in 1 car trip. Cole's place was insane. Floor-to-ceiling windows, actual art on the walls, a kitchen bigger than her old apartment. She walked through it feeling like a guest. "Hey!" He caught her in the bedroom. "Their bedroom?" "What's wrong? This is too much. I don't know how to live like this." "You don't have to know. We'll figure it out together." He pulled her to the window. "Look." Fifth Avenue stretched below. She could see the bus stop where she used to catch the 6 a.m. The coffee cart, her old walking route. "I watched you from here every morning," Cole said, "for 2 years, wishing I had the guts to go down there and talk to you. And now you're here, in my space, making it feel like a home instead of a hotel." He turned her to face him. "You're not a guest. This is ours. Change everything, move furniture, paint the walls purple. I don't care. Just stay." She kissed him, long and slow. "Okay? Okay? Okay." The first crisis hit 2 weeks after she moved in. Cole's business partner, Richard, old family friend, major investor, found out about Simone. Not just that she existed, that she was living with Cole. "We need to talk," Richard said, barging into Cole's office while Simone was there dropping off lunch. She tried to leave. Richard blocked the door. "No, stay. This concerns you too." He looked at Cole. "What the hell are you thinking?" "Excuse me? Dating your driver's daughter? Moving her into your apartment? Do you know how this looks?" Cole's voice went cold. "How it looks?" "Like you've lost your mind. Like you're going through some crisis. Investors are talking. The board is concerned. You're jeopardizing everything we've built because you want to play house with—" "Finish that sentence," Cole said quietly. "I dare you." Richard glanced at Simone, back to Cole. She's not appropriate for someone in your position. You need a partner who understands this world, who can handle the pressure, who fits." "She's a nurse who saves lives every day," Cole said. "What do you do besides move money around and judge people?" "I'm trying to protect you. By insulting the woman I love, by implying she's not good enough?" Cole stood, walked around his desk. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to apologize to Simone, then you're going to leave. And if you ever speak about her like that again, I'll buy out your shares and remove you from the board." "You can't do that." "I own 51% of the company. I absolutely can do that." Richard's face went red. He looked at Simone. She stared back, refusing to look away. "This won't end well," Richard said. "Mark my words. Get out." Richard left. Simone sank into a chair. "Cole, you can't threaten your business partner over me. Watch me. He's right. I don't fit. I'm causing problems. Stop." Cole knelt in front of her. "You're not causing anything. They're showing their true colors. And I'm showing mine. You're my priority. Not them. Not the business. You. But no buts. You and me. That's what matters. Everything else is noise." She wanted to believe him, wanted it desperately. But the voice in her head, her father's voice, Veronica's voice, Richard's voice, kept whispering, "This won't last. You don't belong." He'll realize it eventually. The breaking point came at the hospital. Simone was 3 months into her new commute, from Cole's penthouse to County General. She'd been getting looks from co-workers, questions about how she could suddenly afford designer coffee and nice shoes. "Got a sugar daddy?" one of the ER residents joked. She'd laughed it off, until the day someone left a printout on her locker, a gossip blog, pictures of her and Cole at a restaurant. The headline, "Billionaire hotel mogul Cole Brennan slums it with driver's daughter." The article was vicious, implied she was a gold digger, that Cole was having a midlife crisis, that she'd seduced him for money. It quoted anonymous sources saying she was using her father's medical emergency to manipulate Cole. She stood in the locker room, staring at the printout, and felt something inside her crack. Her phone rang. Cole. "Have you seen it?" he asked. No preamble. "Yeah. I'm handling it. My lawyers are—" "Cole, stop." "What?" "Just stop. We can't sue everyone who talks about us. We can't control what people think." Her voice broke. "Maybe they're right. Maybe this is too much. Maybe my dad was right and we should—" "Don't." His voice went sharp. "Don't let them win. Don't let people who don't know us tell our story." "But what if they're telling the truth? What if I am using you? What if this is me trying to escape my life by climbing into yours?" "Is that what you think?" "I don't know what I think anymore." She slid down the locker, sat on the floor. "I'm exhausted, Cole. I'm tired of defending us. Tired of feeling like I have to prove I'm good enough. Tired of being the driver's daughter who doesn't belong." Silence. Then, "Where are you?" "Work." "I'm coming." "Don't. I have 3 more hours on my shift." "I'm coming. Don't leave. Don't make any decisions. Just wait for me." He hung up. She sat on the floor and cried. Cole showed up an hour later. Simone was with a patient. Car accident, stable but scared. She was holding the woman's hand, talking her through the fear, when she looked up and saw him through the glass, waiting. He didn't interrupt, didn't rush her, just stood there until she was done. She found him in the hallway. "You shouldn't be here." "Probably not." He looked around. "Is there somewhere we can talk?" She led him to the empty chapel. Hospital chapels were always empty except during real crises. They sat in the back row. I'm going to tell you something, Cole said, and I need you to really hear it. Okay. I've spent my entire life building things, hotels, businesses, a reputation. I thought that's what mattered. That success meant having the most money, the best properties, the right connections. He turned to face her. And then I watched you walk past my window every morning and realized I'd never built anything that mattered. Not really, because at the end of the day, I went home to an empty apartment and didn't have anyone to share any of it with. Cole, you're the first person who ever made me want something more than a deal, more than success. You make me want a life. A real life with family dinners and stupid arguments and someone to come home to who actually gives a damn about me, not my bank account. His hand found hers. So when people say you're using me, they have it backwards. I'm the one using you, using your light to find my way out of a life that was slowly killing me. Tears spilled down her cheeks. That's not fair. What's not fair? Saying things like that when I'm trying to be strong enough to walk away. Don't walk away. Fight with me. We'll handle the gossip. We'll deal with the judgment. Together. He wiped her tears with his thumb. I'm not letting you go. Not because of Richard or some blogger or anyone else who thinks they know us. You're it for me. The only person who's ever made me feel like I'm more than my net worth. Your business partner hates me. He's gone. I bought him out this morning. She stared. What? He gave me an ultimatum. You or the partnership. So I chose you. Cut him a check. He's out. Cole, that's insane. You can't blow up your business for me. It's not blowing up. It's prioritizing. Richard showed me who he was. I showed him what matters to me. He cupped her face. You matter to me, more than any deal, more than any partnership. If I have to choose between you and my entire empire, I choose you every single time. That's too much pressure. Then don't see it as pressure. See it as a promise. I'm all in, completely, terrifyingly, in love with you. And nothing anyone says is going to change that. She kissed him. There in the hospital chapel, crying and laughing and holding on to him like he was the only solid thing in a world that kept spinning. I love you, she whispered. So much it scares me. Good. Be scared with me. Okay. 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 Her father called that night. Simone, we need to talk. She was curled up with Cole on his couch, their couch, watching some show neither of them were paying attention to. About what? She asked. About the fact that my daughter is dating a man who just made national news for cutting ties with his business partner. Over her. Cole tensed. Simone put her hand on his chest. Stay. Dad, let me finish. I've spent 6 months watching this, watching him show up, prove himself, fight for you. Watching you be happier than I've ever seen you. Her father's voice softened. And I've been an ass about it. You've been protective. I've been scared that he'd hurt you the way I've seen powerful men hurt people who don't have power. But baby girl, he gave up power for you. Cut ties with someone who helped him build his company because that man disrespected you. Marcus paused. That's not a man playing games. That's a man who means it. Simone's throat tightened. Are you saying? I'm saying I was wrong. About him. About this. You're not some girl being taken advantage of. You're a woman who found someone who sees your worth. And I'm sorry it took me this long to see that. Dad. She was crying now. Cole's arm tightened around her. You love him? More than anything. And he treats you right? Makes you happy? Every day. Then I'm done standing in your way. In fact, tell him to come by this weekend. We should talk, man to man. Dad, what are you? I'm giving my blessing, Simone. Better late than never, right? She couldn't speak. just nodded even though he couldn't see her. "I love you, baby girl, and I'm proud of you, for fighting for what you want, for not letting anyone, including me, make you feel small." "I love you too, Dad." She hung up, turned to Cole. His face was carefully neutral, trying not to assume. "He wants to talk to you," she said, man to man. Cole's eyebrows rose. "Should I be worried?" "I don't think so. I think he's giving his blessing." "You're serious?" "I'm serious." Cole exhaled, long and relieved. "Thank God, I was running out of community centers to build." She laughed, hit his chest. "You're ridiculous. I'm in love. Same thing." They kissed, slow and sweet. The TV played in the background. The city glowed beyond the windows. Everything felt, for the first time in months, right. That weekend, Cole went to Queens. Simone wanted to go with him. Cole insisted on going alone. "This is between me and your dad," he said. "I need to do this right." So she stayed home, paced, called her brother 14 times. Troy told her to chill. "He's not going to murder Cole," Troy said. "Probably. Not helpful." "Look, Dad called me yesterday, asked what I thought about Cole. I told him Cole's good people, that he actually listens when you talk, which is rare for rich dudes, that he makes you happy. Dad needed to hear it from someone other than you." "What did he say?" "That he knows, that he's been watching, that Cole's passed every test he didn't know he was taking." Troy paused. "Simone, I think Dad's going to do more than give his blessing." "What do you mean?" "You'll see." Cole came back 3 hours later. Simone ambushed him at the door. "Well?" He smiled, slow, dangerous, happy. "We're good. That's it? You're gone for 3 hours and all you say is we're good? And that your father is a hell of a negotiator. Now I know where you get it." He pulled her into the apartment, closed the door. "He grilled me for an hour, asked about my intentions, my finances, whether I was planning to have kids, how I'd handle you working crazy hours, if I understood what it meant to be with a black woman in America and the specific challenges you'd face because of me." "What did you say?" "That my intentions are to marry you. That my finances are yours if you want them. That I want kids if you do, and if you don't, that's fine too. That your work is important and I'd never ask you to give it up. And that I'm learning every day about the challenges you face, but I'll spend my life making sure you never face them alone." Simone's heart stopped. "You said you want to marry me? To your father?" "Yes. Was I not supposed to lead with that?" "Cole." "What? It's true." He caught her hands. "I've wanted to marry you since that first night at the hospital. I've been waiting for the right time, for your dad's blessing, for you to feel secure enough in us that you wouldn't freak out when I asked." "I'm freaking out now." "Good freak out or bad freak out?" "I don't know yet." He laughed, pulled her closer. "Your dad gave me something. Before I left." "What?" Cole reached into his pocket, pulled out a small box. Velvet, old. Simone's breath caught. "This was your grandmother's ring," Cole said quietly. "Your dad's mom. He's been holding on to it for years, waiting for you to find someone worthy of it." He opened the box. A simple gold band with a small diamond. Nothing flashy, just beautiful. He said if I was going to propose, I should do it with this. So you'd know your family approves. That I'm not just some outsider, that I'm becoming part of your history." She was crying. "Cole, I'm not proposing right now," he said quickly. "I know you're overwhelmed. I know we still have stuff to work through, but I wanted you to know that I have this, that I'm ready when you are, that there's no doubt in my mind that you're my forever." Simone took the box, stared at her grandmother's ring, the ring her father had been saving, the blessing she'd been afraid would never come. "Ask me," she whispered. "What? Ask me. Now I'm ready." "Simone, you're crying and overwhelmed. Cole Brennan, if you don't ask me to marry you in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to lose my mind." He laughed, shaky, nervous, then dropped to one knee in their apartment. "Simone Washington, you're the first person who ever made me feel like I was enough exactly as I am. Not because of my money or my business or anything I've built, just because of who I am." His voice cracked. "You're my best friend, my home, the only person I want to annoy for the rest of my life. Will you marry me?" "Yes." She pulled him up, kissed him hard. "Yes, yes, yes." He slid the ring on her finger. Perfect fit, like her grandmother knew. They stood there holding each other while the sun set over the city, and everything that had been broken slowly, finally, became whole. 3 months later, Cole's hotel company broke ground on the county general expansion. Press conference, city officials, hospital board. Simone stood next to Cole at the podium, nervous in a way she hadn't been since that first gala. But this time was different. This time her father stood in the crowd next to her brother. Her friends from the hospital, her aunties, her world and his world, mixing. Cole gave a speech about community investment, about building spaces that healed. Then he looked at Simone. "None of this happens without the woman next to me," he said. "She's the one who showed me what matters, who taught me that success isn't measured in dollars, but in lives changed. She's going to be my wife, and the best decision I ever made was being brave enough to talk to her." The crowd clapped. Simone's face burned, but Cole took her hand, and it felt right. After the press conference, Richard appeared. Cole's ex-partner, the man he'd cut ties with. "Cole," Richard said, "can we talk?" Cole's hand tightened on Simone's. "If you're here to apologize to her, go ahead. If you're here for anything else, we're done." Richard looked at Simone. "I was out of line. What I said, how I said it, was wrong. You make him happy. I can see that. And I let old ideas about class and status blind me to what actually matters." He extended his hand. "I'm sorry." Simone shook it. "Thank you." "For what it's worth," Richard added, looking at Cole, "you made the right choice. I would have cost you everything." "She made you better." Cole nodded. "Yeah, she did." Richard left. Simone turned to Cole. "You okay?" "Better than okay." He kissed her forehead. "I have you. Everything else is just details." The wedding was small. Her aunt's backyard again, string lights, her grandmother's china, a playlist of Mary J. Blige and Alicia Keys, and all the music that soundtracked her life. Cole wore a suit. Simone wore a simple dress. Nothing fancy, nothing designed to impress anyone. Her father walked her down the makeshift aisle, whispered in her ear, "I was wrong about him. He's good for you." "I know," she whispered back. Cole cried when he saw her. Actually cried. Tears streaming down his face like he couldn't believe she was real. They wrote their own vows. His were about finding home. Hers were about finding someone who saw her, really saw her, and chose her anyway. They kissed while everyone cheered. Her world and his world. Finally, one world. 2 years later, Simone stood in the new county general emergency room. State-of-the-art equipment, double the trauma bays, lives being saved that wouldn't have been before. Her phone buzzed. Cole. "Coming home early. Made dinner. Ordered dinner. Same thing." She smiled. "Simone, you're perfect." Cole. "You make me want to be." She looked at her ring, her grandmother's ring, and thought about the girl who used to walk past his building every morning, invisible and exhausted. That girl never could have imagined this, but that girl had been brave enough to say yes, and that made all the difference. What would you rate this story? Drop 0 or 10 in the comments right now. If this story moved you, hit subscribe for more emotional journeys every week. And if it truly touched your heart, consider leaving a super thanks. Your support helps us create more stories like this. Every contribution, big or small, means the world. Ready for the next story? It's even more dramatic than this one. Click now. Thank you for being part of this journey.